666. You need pros. Trained professional moving experts to do the heavy lifting for you. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck. 352-289-0666. They care about your things as much as you do, and they do it fast and right. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck. 352-289-0666. Visit twomeninatruck.com and get moving.
2 Men in a Truck.
Brick City Creative Group is your one-stop multimedia destination. With the experience our team has, not many can really tell a story like we do. Specializing in live broadcasting, promo reels, film, and social media. No matter the story, we've got you covered with some of the best professionals in the industry. Your story is our mission. Find us on the web at brickcitycreativegroup.com or on Facebook at Brick City Creatives.
Now you did it. Are you completely insane? He's back. He, who must not be named. The man, the myth. The only guy in Ocala to eat his own weight in fried pickles. Twice. Now, you asked for it. Sorta. Live and in person. It's Tom Schmitz.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks with Tom Schmitz. On the line with us is Lori Gregory. She is the author and creator of the Mom Street Journal. Also the CEO, not the CFO. She's more important than that. She's the CEO of Seventh Chakra Films, who just put out a new movie, 1986, The Act, which I'm proud to say Brick City Creative Group, which I'm the owner of, helped edit that movie and get it ready for its release. And she's also a health freedom patriot that in her people, I had a text message from somebody, why she thinks she knows so much about California living in Ocala. No, Lori lived in California for a very long time, and that's where she became jaded with this process that we call, government intrusion. And Lori, somebody said, but how's she from California when she lives in Ocala? Give a little background on just why you know California so well and what it is about the legislation out there that led you to the path you're on towards health freedom.
Well, as a fourth-generation Ocalan, I've always had roots in Ocala. I've always been proud of Ocala, but I was never more proud of Ocala than when I came back in 2016 and brought the movie Vaxxed to screen at the Silver Springs International Film Festival. And at the time, our mayor, Mayor Gwynn, who's still our mayor, who previewed the film, said, absolutely, we're going to show this film in Ocala. Marion County stands on the Constitution and free speech. And this was a time when I had watched policy go completely off the rails in California. After living in California for 13 years, I was able to witness an extraordinary phenomenon. Lifelong Democrat, voted for Obama twice, voted for Clinton, very loyal to the blue team.
Shame on you.
Until I saw first. Well, I believed it. I believed in the dream. I believed in the principles that are behind a lot of the rhetoric that the blue team are spewing now, but they're spewing it as a front for some very fascist policy. And I saw that firsthand in California. So I took a hiatus here in Ocala for a couple years after being in California for about 12 years. My family came here while our son was young just to have some time with family. And when I went back to California in 2015, I really was like a reluctant activist. It wasn't something that I intentionally sought out. God pulled my heart there. And once I arrived, I realized why. Because 4 days after my return, my living room was in boxes. I was living at the beach. My family was at this beautiful little beach bungalow in Manhattan Beach. We were so happy. And all of a sudden, 4 days later, aggressive policy was introduced that forces 22 pharmaceutical products into 5-year-olds or keeps them out of public or private school in California. And at the time that the bill was introduced, I thought, this is weird. California is granola and healthy lifestyle, and why on earth would the California legislature pump 22 pharmaceutical products that, by the way, have no safety testing into 5-year-olds or keep them at a school? And I thought this was especially surprising, Tom, because the California Constitution, each state has its own constitution, and the California Constitution is written in such a way that specifically states no one shall be denied access to an education, including if you're there illegally. So you can be in the United States illegally, and you can still send your children to school illegally as illegal immigrants, undocumented peoples. You can send them to the public school. You can also get a driver license in California if you're here as an undocumented illegal person. And so what I started to witness was a hijacking of rights in the name of pure profit for the pharmaceutical industry. And my background, as you know, Tom, is that I worked on Wall Street in the early part of my career as an investor relations consultant for the pharmaceutical industry. And what that means is when you do investor relations, you're responsible for corporate messaging relative to Wall Street. You basically take your clients who are publicly traded and you market their message to Wall Street, to the people who would be buying your stock and selling it to their clients. So I knew a little bit about the game, the pharmaceutical game and the profits over people, but I had no idea the marriage between the pharmaceutical industry and policy and how deeply in bed they were with one another until I saw SB 277 in California in 2015.
Lori, we got about a minute and a half. We're up against a hard break. Tell people, though, how that evolved into Vaxxed and now 1986, the Act.
How that evolved into Vaxxed was a brilliant man, a filmmaker, turned the truth around and exposed it to the public through Vaxxed. And Vaxxed is a very powerful film. If you haven't seen it, you can see it on the website for the new film. The new film is 1986, The Act, 1986theact.com. The 1986 Act is a law that was signed by Ronald Reagan reluctantly. He really got shanghaied. He didn't know what he was signing. That gave vaccine makers complete immunity from the marketplace, from any liability. So vaccines have no product liability whatsoever. And therefore, all incentive has been removed to make them safe and effective. Now they're being mandated state by state. And so $50 billion a year is the market for vaccines.
Wow.
$550 billion a year is the market for all the products that treat vaccine injury.
Wow.
So we literally are making a market through our children. And so 1986, the Act exposes all of this, and it's done in a very clever way. Andy Wakefield is our filmmaker. They tried to cancel Andy 25 years ago because he dared to mention vaccine
we got
safety.
10 seconds. Give them the website again.
1986theact.com, and we have 30% off right now. Election 30 is the code. Whoever your lawmaker is, you need to know about health freedom, so go and watch the film.
Lori Gregory, thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you, Tom.
We'll be back.
The Paddock Mall Studios. This is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Say Radio News with Lance Pry.
An armed man was arrested Thursday night outside the Pennsylvania Convention Center as voting counts continued. Reports say he was planning to attack the location. Police say they were tipped off about a group of people from Virginia driving to the convention center in a Hummer with a possible plan to strike. WPVI reported. At about 10:50 p.m., a man inside a Vietnamese restaurant across from the center was taken into custody. Police recovered a weapon at the location and a Hummer. It's unclear if the